Welcome painters! In today's video is sponsored by Wyrd Games company. In the description below you have a link where you can see the new miniatures. In this video I'm going to paint this miniature. So the level is more or less intermediate. So if you are ready, let's go for it!
First of all, prime the miniature. For those of you who are new to the channel, here's a link to a video where I explain which colors I use to prime them. Now I will apply the base color. I will use black and periscopes from the Panzer Aces range. I put both colors on the Redgrass Games wet palette. I add some water to the mixture, and I apply the base color. And here you can see the final result of how I applied the base color. I add some drops of ice yellow to the previous mixture. This color is perfect to illuminate, since it is comprised of yellow and white. Don't highlight with pure white, because it desaturates instead of illuminates. Some good colors for highlighting are sunny skin tone, ice yellow, and medium flesh tone, for example. As you can see in the square, I added ice yellow, and I start highlighting. I'm creating strong highlights since I want to achieve a metallic effect, so we have to paint stronger highlights. If you realize the brushstroke is too strong, no big deal. Take the first mixture, which is periscopes and black, and apply a glaze. That's how we can smooth out the brushstroke. For a metallic effect, we have to outline the edges and paint these bright points. I am focusing on the main view to force the light and achieve a good contrast. On the upper parts, I am trying to create a metallic effect, but with more movement. What does that mean? The brushstroke is more like a zigzag. I will apply some glazes to smooth it later. It's very important to outline the edges, since it helps us to create a great metallic effect. And as you can see, When the brushstroke is too strong, I apply a glaze with periscope or black. And here you can see the final result. I've started to create the effect. Third step, I will continue highlighting and adding the so-called points of light. I will use pale blue and white. I put both colors on the palette, mix them, and also mix them with the previous mixture. I don't want to add too much white because I don't want to lose the yellow tone. They're going to be just soft touches to increase the brightness. A bit more at the edges to create the metallic effect. I focus on the main planes. This is one plane, so I will add a bit more white to increase the brightness of the metal. As you can see, the brush strokes are very noticeable. It's no big deal, because I will add some glazes to smooth them later. This miniature is also really tiny, and keep in mind we're seeing it really zoomed in. At the end of the video, I'll show you some pictures of the Mini next to a penny to check out the size. I mark the highlights on these little legs a bit more to create shine. And I also take the opportunity to paint the tubes and other metallic areas. I add some lines to the metallic parts too, to create a weathered effect. Which will enhance the metallic effect. And here you can see the final result, how the metallic effect is shiny. Step number 4, and now with dark sea blue, I will paint the base color of the water bottles. I add a little drop of water so the paint flows well. If you are new to this channel, here's a link to a video where I talk about how to dilute paint and use the brush. I recommend you watch it because it's very useful. I keep painting the base color. As you can see, a neat finish is not necessary. If there are any black areas, it will be great for us later to create the crystalline effect. I will add some lights with white. I choose the planes of light to create the crystalline effect, for example, in the middle. I use white. If it is too strong, I add the previous color. The crystalline effect must be strong, so we keep adding white little by little. I also outline the edges and focus on the highlighting on the middle of the bottle, edges, and then the sides. This is how I will get the effect. And now I will paint the water. I will use dark Prussian blue and deep sky blue. First, I paint the dark color, the blue, which will be the base color. And next I will paint the lights with little lines and dots to create the water effect. This is like an organic paint. We have to look for the effect of water moving inside the bottle. Leaving a dark blue line is very important to create the effect. As you can see, we've painted the bottle with gray, then we added white, and now we're painting the water. Using white, I simulate bubbles in the water with little dots. I will force the lighting on the bottle a little more with white. I paint a line in the middle to create the effect. And finally, I apply a glaze to smooth the brushstrokes and get a better finish. So, no worries. I apply some blue glazes to smooth it. The inside of the bottle must be painted too. with a little bit of deep sky blue, and then I put a dark blue glaze on it. And here you can see the final result of how to paint the bottles. Step number 5. It's time to paint the fish. I will paint it like a piranha, playing with orange and turquoise colors. I put all the colors on the wet palette. I will never tire of recommending you use a wet palette, since the colors stay fresh all the time. Before applying these colors, I will paint the fish with little dots and lines to add texture to the piranha. The sculpture doesn't have this texture, so we will do it with the brush. As you can see, I am painting little dots to simulate the scales. Then I'll apply glazes to blend the color and get a piranha with turquoise and orange tones. But first, I have to apply this stippling. Using a brush with a very good tip is crucial when applying this technique. I also paint the eyes. And now I will apply glazes. On the lower part of the piranha, I will apply an orange color. As you can see, I apply a glaze, let it dry, and then repeat. If you're new to the channel, here's a link to a video where I explain what a glaze is. The same with blue-green. I add water and paint the top part with glazes. Then I let it dry and reapply, so the color becomes more intense. The turquoise color combines very well with the rest of the figure. I painted the metal with a turquoise effect too, and orange adds saturation and makes the piranha stand out. Notice the piranha is inside this kind of robot and does not stand out much. But by adding a saturated color like orange, it's perfect. Fluorescent orange is a great color to emphasize something, since it contains a lot of pigment. It is stronger. And it's satin, which helps us out a lot. We also add some points of light as well. And now it's time to smooth the lights and add more glazes. I mark the teeth of the piranha as well. And here you can see the final result. And we're already on the last step. Final step, magical touches. Off camera, I painted the gun bottle to speed up the recording process. And now I will use fluorescent magenta. When painting with fluorescent colors, it is expedient to use a white base color or any light color. For example, I painted this light bulb in white, and now I'm applying some glazes with a fluoro color. This way we will get a super saturated color, and as it's satin, it will stand out a lot. I also take the opportunity to add some soft touches to the legs. And add more color to the figure. This step is tinkering. I also apply a kind of verdigris on the cover. I do it with little dots, and as I told you, it's just adding little details to make the figure look cooler. This step is not necessary if you're gamers, but if you want to improve and spend a bit more time painting, I recommend doing it. These little details make all the difference, and it doesn't take too much time, eh? You just have to feel like painting. If you have any questions about the process, you can leave them in the comments. For example, here on the legs, I didn't apply a light base color. I don't want them to stand out too much, so I add soft glazes to create the lighting effect. I want the light bulb to stand out a lot, and on the legs, a little. As you have seen in the video, I started with a desaturated gray color, and now by adding these details, such as the orange color on the belly of the Piranha, we get an eye-catching fish. With fluorescent magenta, we make the metallic parts stand out. That's why I told you that you have to dedicate time to the minis so that they can look a little better. But if you're a gamer, just a few details are enough. But on this channel, I also want to teach you how to improve your painting skills. And here is the final result. I hope you liked it.
If you like the video, share it with your friends and like the video. If you want to know more about my painting method, I have two books, Volume 1, Volume 2, available in my website store. You have a link in the description below. So guys, paint a lot and see you next video!